Australia, home to 27 million individuals, including Dash community member XK, who recently shared a write-up that centered on comments from Michelle Bullock, the head of Australia's central bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, or RBA. Bullock's newsworthy action discussing the use of cash, or lack thereof, in that nation-state.
The number of consumer transactions done in cash has plummeted, down from 70% in 2007 to just 13% last year.
Further, cash accounted for just 6% of value transacted in 2022. In the last 5 years, the number of ATMs in Australia has decreased from 14,000 to 6,000. In the last 5 years, the number of bank branches in Australia has decreased from about 5,700 to 3,600. And some of the remaining bank branches have ceased handling cash altogether. Those who prefer to use cash will have a more difficult time accessing it, especially if they live outside a major city, and it has been floated that they may soon be required to pay a premium to access cash.
Well, the days of cold, hard cash could well be numbered, with the Reserve Bank governor warning the steep decline in cash transactions might well lead to Aussies being charged to use their own banknotes.
According to many talking heads, this is a good thing, because digital payments are more efficient and because they create a paper trail for tax revenues. While Bullock, who has no work experience outside the RBA, has paid lip service to cash, it seems she is content to see it be supplanted. As they say, actions speak louder than words, and Bullock and her colleagues have been busy laying the groundwork for another system. In 2018, the RBA spearheaded the new payments platform, which facilitates instantaneous 24/7 peer-to-peer payments for those who have registered with their bank. The majority of adults in Australia have signed up and are users. The RBA has been working on a CBDC since at least 2020. Indeed, Australia's CBDC is already in the pilot stage, the step just prior to being launched. In 2021, the RBA began collaboration with the Digital Finance Cooperative Research Centre, or DFCRC, an outfit funded by the Australian federal government, banks, fintech companies, and academia. In 2022, the RBA and DFCRC announced their pending year-long study into CBDCs. And this past August, they released their report. They had collaborated with the largest banks and other payment institutions to run 16 use cases, from onboarding users, to remittances, to the bond market, to the tokenization of assets, to offline payments, to a payment app. Their findings were shared at an invite-only conference, which was spearheaded by Dilip Rao, Ripple's former global head of infrastructure innovation. Earlier this month, Rao published a write-up about CBDCs. It began by mentioning Facebook's Libra project, which Rao noted may have struck fear and loathing in the hearts of central bankers everywhere. Why? Because banksters are afraid of losing power. Rao then wrote, "Central banks are today racing to work out if, when, and how they should counter the crypto barbarians at the gates with their own central bank digital currency." This view is shared by Stephen Jones, Australia's Minister for Financial Services and Assistant Treasurer, who said at a press conference last year that cryptocurrency is a challenge that needs regulation. Rao's conclusion largely echoes what Augustin Carstens, head of the Bank for International Settlements, is fond of saying, that governments cannot foist CBDCs upon the populace. They must first cultivate political will for them to be accepted. Thus, Rao and his colleagues are not overtly pushing an Australian CBDC. Consider, during her recent comments about payments and cash, Bullock chose not to mention the considerable research that's been undertaken into an Australian CBDC. They are laying the groundwork, including trying to control the narrative with the help of their friends in the fourth branch of government, the mainstream media. The bulk of legacy media is not just giving press to those who praise going cashless, they are vilifying cryptocurrency by associating it with scams that need regulation. And the big four Australian banks have discussed curtailing customer ability to interact with centralized cryptocurrency exchanges under the guise of protecting them from scams.
This is part of Agenda 2030. They have laid it out for you. They've already told you this is what we're going to do and why. It's all about control.
But the future is not written. The narrative is not wholly controlled. Australians, no need to chuck a wobbly or have a Barney. There's still time for this situation to make a Yui. No time to be a bludger. You must act. Think how your decision will impact not just yourself, but the next generation. It'd be ace if you were a mad cunt and broached this convo with those in your sphere, including the Garbos. Again, the Pollies and their bankster friends are scrambling. Now is the time to bypass that system of control and instead use a means of exchange that is liberating. As Keanu Reeves' character Neo said in the movie The Matrix, which was shot in Australia.
I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible.
What up, barbarians? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
you can see I've got my 4 back here.
Oh,
Yes.
that's 4.
Okay.
And I'm especially pleased at how it's turned the other way from how 4s are usually turned. It's like you're just keeping it fresh and mixed.
Well, I don't know. Does it come out backwards? Because I don't know if I've got my screen mirrored or not.
Yeah,
But anyway,
right,
it's there. I had it there for my 40th birthday, I think, or something like that. Anyway.
Well, great. Well, great. Well, everybody, you are joining the Incubator Weekly, in which our newest contributor, Jan, who was using the handle Max prior to creating a new one called Jan for ease, has submitted a recently accepted concept about which I know very little, and it has to do with merchant credits. And I'm going to ask Ryan to give us an overview of like why he accepted that into the incubator here in a moment. But before we do, we just want to say hello to Jan and say what's up. So Jan, how's it going?
Hello, it's fine. 2024 here as well. And I'm glad to be on the show.
Would you tell us how and when you first learned of Dash?
Well, that was actually quite from the beginning. I guess 2014. That was.
Oh, wow.
Well, my background is in academia, so I'm interested, or I was always interested in all technical stuff and different technologies. So I learned about Bitcoin not right at the beginning, but like around 2013, and about Dash 2014. I found it cool project, like kind of pushing forward the basic ideas of Bitcoin. And I like your show, Amanda, at that time. Dash Detail, or how was it called afterwards?
That's how it's called.
Yeah. So that was quite nice and refreshing at the time as well. And yeah, I actually had I exchanged a few emails with Ivan Duffield when he was starting, I guess, some more development people to join the team. I had exchanged a few emails with him. That was something about sending objects and how to execute them on virtual machine. But at the time, I did not have time. I was not interested in joining the team. But since then, a lot of water flew, and years passed, and I'm not at the university anymore. I was a consultant for a few years. Then we had small kids, so I took it easier. And now I'm kind of at a crossroad. And I still think crypto is cool. And I'm interested in trying to do my best and contribute with this project or with this idea to Dash community, or maybe to crypto in general. We will see.
Wow.
Well, I like that attitude, the trying to contribute as much as you can to make it work, because that's the only way that it will work. I mean, these cryptocurrency projects are only as good as the people and labor force behind them actually making it into a marketable good. So yeah, we can't just sit and pray for investors to keep dumping money into speculation. We've got to make it real world value. So to pick up on your earlier question, Amanda, why I accepted this concept, it is for that very reason, actually. Dash is digital cash. We want it to be a widely used and commonly used digital cash, in other words, money. And a big part of that, as I just said, the labor force is what you put into the coin, and what you get out is hopefully goods and services. And the coin is just in the middle, facilitating those exchanges of labor and goods. And this concept that you have here, maybe somebody can put it up on the screen, Pete. I've shared my screen. This concept is exactly that. We're looking at the merchant side, and we know historically that it's been difficult to get merchants to, and actually maybe I'll just talk for a little bit longer, but glad to know that you've got it ready. Good to know, or it's the merchant side is difficult to get them to accept cryptocurrency directly. I think that we are making some inroads on that, and I think that it will become even more popular in the future. But right now, merchants, they really just want dollars coming in because that's how they do their accounting. And any way that we can help them do that, if accepting cryptocurrency directly is a little bit too much of a stretch for them, then maybe this concept is a bridge to get them there. And this concept, now let's take a look at it specifically, is Jan originally titled it self-service merchant loyalty credit system, and I've shortened that a little bit in our project, but I'll just read the value proposition here. Enable payments at point of sale using merchant-specific self-issued loyalty credits, which are denominated in chosen national fiat currency, which are implemented on top of Dash Evolution infrastructure as a permissionless feature. So basically, what I'm hearing from that is this is kind of a gift card, that merchants can create to sell to customers, and then they can denominate that gift card in US dollars or whatever currency they want. They could even denominate it in Dash potentially if they wanted to. But now that I've just kind of introduced the concept, I'd like you, Jan, to describe it a little bit further. I'm all about using Dash in the real world and merchant adoption. That's why I accepted this card. But let us know what further detail you had in mind. And if
okay, so there are there's a lot of things about this project at the moment, because it has been hanging around maybe for a year. But I can, to start with, how I came to that idea. Maybe that's also interesting.
Please.
Because
you've obviously been thinking about it for
because
a while.
there was a lot of bickering on the Discord about these stable coins, how to do it, how difficult is it, what are different possibilities, like this completely automated peg like Terra Luna used, or something that is backed by other assets like DAI and MakerDAO uses, and also, like, I have a feeling that this this entire crypto sector is completely a lot of new asset classes, like cryptocurrency for payments or Bitcoin as one new asset class, but then you have all these ICOs and NFTs, and then you have exchange tokens. So there's a lot of new asset classes, but they are all like digital new, and it's just pure speculation. You need to connect cryptocurrency to the real world, to real usage, to real assets, and of course, like, money is sort of a real asset, although it does not exist anyway. It's only in our heads. But many people will tell you that dollars are real. So the stable coins are sort of the connection to the real world, and it's also probably the most useful and successful asset or application of cryptocurrencies, the stable coins. But the problem is how you run these stable coins. You need to take a lot of risk and regulatory pressure, and I don't know what legal problems, and and back the asset and make it secure. So I was then thinking about whether you can use it directly for daily usage, and I came to this idea that if we want to use it on day-to-day basis, the best would be if the merchants who are selling the goods and services could back the cryptographic asset with their goods and services. So basically, what you get is a stable coin, but it's sharded by all these merchants and service providers who are willing to utilize Dash network, and they are issuing their stable coins denominated in their currency that their business is using, and it's backed by their goods and services and by their reputation, and they cannot exceed this power they have. They care about their customers, so it also keeps them in the corner. So this kind of issuance problem would be solved with that, and it would bring usage of Dash network, to the real world, to the real world assets, to the real world services and goods. And now the question is how to do it. So we can talk about it.
Yeah, before you, I feel like my brain is kind of like pulsing with possibilities here, and I'm like, whoa, this is potentially super awesome what you're saying. I'm sure it is super awesome. Could I get an example? An example of me as a merchant or me as a customer?
I have actually, it actually, I've been thinking about it in preparation for this New Year's Eve podcast. So actually, I found out the best is to go through the procedure. So I will just tell you the procedure, how it would work, and please. then we can ask. So the first step is to convince the merchant about the benefits they will have when using these payment credits. Okay, there are several, and we will get to it later, but this is the first step. You need to convince the merchant. A convinced merchant or one willing to try this concept out installs the application on their mobile device. This means pretty much the same as if you install a Dash mobile wallet. Apart from the installation from the App Store itself, you will also need to perform some initialization of the wallet, namely like choosing and keeping and then storing the private key. So they need to do that as well. And then they will need to set up their merchant credit for their own business and for their brand. So that basically means they need to choose a name. They might choose a logo. They might set web address to the merchant itself, the currency in which they want to carry the payments, and perhaps the minimum denomination they are willing to accept through this method. And with that, they are ready to issue and sell their own merchant credits to their customers. So it's a completely self-service, permissionless app or.
And so if I'm like a grocery store, if I'm like the Apple Orchard grocery store, if I've been persuaded, if I've been convinced, I am issuing gift cards or credits, say in the minimum denomination of 5 Aussie dollars.
No, I think this would be this would be like the minimum change that you are accepting. So let's say 10 cents or 1 cent. Like you say you are in dollars, so okay, US dollars is the currency, and the minimum change is let's say 5 cents or 10 cents or 50 cents. It's up to you.
Okay. And then
Okay.
and then I issue these.
No. Okay, I will get to it.
Okay.
I will get to it. So right
Okay.
now you convince the merchant, you have the merchant install the application, and you have the merchant with their settings for their credits. So it's then up to the merchant how they will promote it. But the onboarding of customers basically means pointing the willing customers to the App Store to install the payment app as well. They will need to do that.
And then
Potentially
once
the
a
same payment
customer
app
has
that
done
the
that,
merchant
they can-
installed, potentially a different app.
It's up to us. It's up to us how it will be done. It can be the same. It can be different. Which again, of course, the customers, they will have to, on the first launch, they need to establish a new account on the Dash network. That's again the same thing. So this is basically the technical setup. Until now, you did not need any Dash. There is no transaction. This is like the technical setup you need for this concept or this service to work. So then you have customer with the payment app, and they can go to the merchant and buy their credit in their local currency. So let's say you like a restaurant or a grocery store on your street. So you may feel safe having $100 of credit with them.
Okay.
I don't, because you use them every day.
Mhm.
In fact, you might be willing to do that, especially if you get some benefits for that, like such as discounts.
Yes.
And since they are offering their credits, you go to the cashier and say, I want to buy $100 of your credits. So you pay $100 either in cash or in any other payment mechanism they accept at the cashier, such as
Okay.
credit card, and you
Okay.
pay. So they have it in their system, and you paid $100. And in your app, you press Add Credits, and there will be a QR code. You show it to the cashier, they scan it, and in seconds you get the credits in your app.
Okay, so
Okay.
far I've heard that a merchant creates credit tokens and that a person can buy those credit tokens with dollars or euros or yen or what have you. Where does Dash come into? I mean, do Dash transactions come into play?
Okay,
here?
just wait a bit. We will get to it. But let's say that this happens. Okay, it happened over Dash network. So obviously we will get to it. You will need Dash transaction this to happen, because the Dash network is carrier of all of this. So yeah. So you have the credits of this merchant in your app, and this is the first time basically when you need some Dash, because you need to pay for fees on Dash network. You cannot do it without that, and so the merchant needs to get some Dash before they issue. Before they sell the credits to the customer, because they need to pay for the fees on the Dash network. For the same reason, or on this issuance, the merchant should send some minimum amount of Dash to the customers, so that they can spend, so that they can use the credits then when they want to use them at the merchant in the later time. Okay. So basically, the credits that the merchant creates, it's like out of thin air, but it is backed by their reputation, by their service. It's their customer, so it's backed by them basically, and but you need to pay. You need to create Dash transactions to communicate, basically to make transactions. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question about your use of the term credits. I think I know what it means, but can you just please clarify, when you say a merchant issuing credits, is that equivalent to saying a merchant issuing a gift card?
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. It's basically you say, this is my money, this is my gift card, this is my loyalty money, this is my payment mechanism, and you say it's denominated in dollars because your business runs prices in dollars. So not to confuse the customer, it has the same denomination, but it is like a gift card. You can say so.
And the important thing here is that it's a gift card that's issued directly by the merchant and stored securely and publicly, or maybe not publicly, maybe there's some kind of
securely, let's say
securely on Dash platform. And so the merchant, if they are a merchant that wants a loyalty credit program or a gift card program, their option right now is they can contact some kind of gift card provider that they can then work with, and then the gift card provider will be their gift card as a service provider, and that they'll probably, the merchant probably won't do much in terms of administering that program. But the downside for the merchant is they probably have to pay some kind of fee to this service provider, and to get that up and running. So what you're saying is, let's offer a self-service service where the merchant, they don't have to interface with any kind of service gift card or gift credit.
Exactly.
They just do it themselves. The data is stored on Dash platform, and then you mentioned also that, so right now we don't have any kind of Dash payments have not entered the discussion as of yet, because this gift card system could be as simple as the merchant just gets this up and running, and then they accept US dollars for their gift cards and they denominate it in US dollars. But we're still using Dash in this case because we're using Dash platform. But it would just be a further feature that the merchant could accept Dash for the gift cards if they wanted to, and customers could buy them with Dash if they wanted to.
Sure. Well, sure. So you are correct, but those are further developments. Also, what you said is correct. Also, what I would correct you on a little bit is the credits themselves. I mean, they may not need to be on even on platform or on Evolution, but as we discussed, perhaps it's a good idea to analyze and think about that road as well. The transactions, as technically, when I was thinking about it and doing specification for it, that would be just normal opcodes or the memo. You could do it through these colored coins or that kind of application on Dash network. But we need platform for the settings and for definition of each merchant credit. So this cannot work without Evolution. We need Evolution first for this. Once there will be fungible tokens, or I don't know how is it called exactly, how Quantum Explorer calls it. I think it's fungible tokens. When the support for fungible tokens will be there, then the credits, as I call them, or as we are talking about them here, could be on platform as well.
Okay. Now,
but at the yeah.
Okay, Pete, could you flash up David Holliday's question about this sounds like a Dash Direct. What's the difference here? Because I think that some people will be asking this question. I think I have a good idea of what the difference is, but I would like you to explain what the difference is between this and what Dash Direct was doing.
So there are many differences, but the core difference is we can put it together with Bitrefill as well. If you take Bitrefill or Dash Direct, those are services, those are middlemen or intermediaries that are enabling you to use credit, these gift cards or loyalty cards of others. So if you use Amazon gift card, Amazon has their infrastructure for their gift cards, their system up where they control the issuance and the movements of and usage of these gift cards. And Bitrefill or Dash Direct are the intermediaries that are allowing you to use these gift cards through cryptocurrency, through using Dash. So
And
the
there's
major
actually more
difference.
players in there as well. Like I know that when I've spoken with the support teams of these various gift card issuers, they're not even getting the gift cards directly from Amazon. They're getting them from a supplier who gets them from Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's like multiple middlemen.
Yeah, there's probably multiple middlemen technically, but conceptually you have Amazon gift card. That's one technology. And then, of course, we can talk about how you can move it around. But it runs on its own platform, and you will have Adidas gift cards. You know, they have their own gift card system, and you know these big companies or chains, they have their own gift cards. The smaller ones cannot afford it because it's too expensive to carry out. With this solution, it's not a middleman. This is Dash Network provides you a feature where anyone can create and put in circulation their own gift card, and you do not need any infrastructure. It's there waiting for you. It's permissionless, and you can start. You just need Dash to cover transaction, which is very low fees. It's few cents.
So I would imagine that this is going to appeal mostly to small to medium-sized businesses, because I think that most large businesses that already are interested in issuing gift cards or in-store credits to their customers have probably already done so with such an intermediary. And even if they hadn't, the bureaucracy involved might want to use a big service, for example. But if you have a local company that's a small business owner, maybe you even know the business owner, and he's interested in having customers participate in a merchant loyalty program, he doesn't want to necessarily go through, he might not want to go through one of these big intermediaries because they might charge too much to make it worth his time. Too expensive. But if you could have a turnkey solution for him that allows him to have this program and gain the loyalty of even 2 or 3 of his local customers, then I think that makes a lot of sense. And Dash would be the only intermediary, and using Dash would be very inexpensive for him because we have just an interest in getting people using this system, right? So,
I think it's not even that. You cannot call Dash intermediary. It's the same like if you would say that for making Dash transaction you use intermediary. No, it's basically non-intermediary. It's you use Dash network to do
like
transactions with others. It's just other way to use use Dash network. It's just that the credits, the cryptocurrency is yours, and you take responsibility that you will serve the customer when they will come back. So you need a business for that. Otherwise nobody will trust you.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that this is not about Dash payments yet, but it is not about Dash payments. it is about saying that, Jan, you think that the Dash network with platform running can offer, at least to small and medium-sized businesses, a better gift card as a service option than anyone else in the world? Like any and all existing businesses, that we can do it better than they can?
I think what you can say it so. It's really hard to tell what is the best way to market this or promote this. That's why I have decided to go through this procedure, because now we are talking about what it is in a descriptive way, and that's already like marketing. We are talking about how good it is, but you need to convince. Sorry.
No, I said, I'm sorry, I can't help myself I can't stop from slipping into how market, but please continue.
You use Dash network for payments between merchants and customers. That's the main thing here. It hasn't worked yet. We were talking about it's chicken egg problem. I don't like this thing because it's kind of like finding excuses that we do not understand the reason for why customers and merchants cannot interact in cryptocurrencies. But here we have solution where merchants can start utilizing this network, and they would have incentive to do so, because they will you can look for any list of benefits of you introducing gift cards or loyalty programs. You will acquire new customers, you can retain the customers, they pay in advance, you can have sort of you can provide them some benefits. You will have increased traffic that can be used as a gift giving solution. So there's a lot of incentives for merchants why they would like to do this. They have credit afterwards. If the customers won't come back and spend their credits, it stays with the merchant. It's right. It's good. It's good for them. So they have this incentive. They get it more or less for free, and they might promote it to the customers, which are general public. And then you have plenty of, I have seen numbers from 2022, that's probably outdated, but then it was about 10% of population, at least in Europe and Americas, have invested somehow in cryptocurrencies, and that's pure speculation. But you have 10%, at least 10% of population, some kind of experience with cryptocurrency. So, I mean, they will not be. There are some, and they might be willing to take this. And
yeah, I think that the value proposition from the merchant side is very good. I just actually Unchained is a podcast that's very popular, and I just saw on their feed a few days ago, one of their most recent episodes says crypto point systems are a 100x opportunity, but founders be wary. And I listened to about half of it. I haven't finished it, but I agree with that. Like the point systems and the loyalty credit systems is an emergent crypto application right now. If anybody isn't kind of aware of the broader crypto scene right now, a lot of projects are doing exactly this. They're issuing tokens, but not like tokens and ICOs were a thing of the past. But now people are like, a lot of projects are focusing on merchant credit systems, just like we're talking about. So it is kind of a concept that is popular right now. So I just wanted to mention that. But from my experience also on the customer side, how many times have I purchased a gift card for $100, say, and then used 60 of it or something, and then just lost the $40, forgot about using the other $40? That's basically like from the merchant side, they got the money and then they didn't have to provide the goods. So that's why I say this is for everybody that forgets about their gift cards. That's a positive thing for the merchant. From the consumer though, this functions a lot of in a lot of the same way as a stable coin would. Like if the price of Dash goes up, for example, and I have some local stores that I know I always go to, I would really like to just be able to purchase some of their credits instead of a stable coin and use that for, that's my stable coin, because I'm not interested in money only to the degree that actually can buy stuff with it. So
right,
anyway,
but they're not accepting Dash. So how would you be able to do that? I mean, you say if Dash goes up, I want to go purchase their credits, but they don't take Dash.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. This would facilitate that. I'm assuming this whole.
Yeah.
So
I think
I missed the question that TL. I want to answer community questions as much as possible here. Can you put that other one back up on the screen? Would you not run into the same issue that Ethereum has with its layer 2, where everyone will just want to want the base layer because that will capture all the value? I don't know. Jan, do you want to answer that?
I don't understand how the base layer would capture all of the value. I don't understand the question. Do you understand
maybe
that?
It was more in the context of the discussion going on in the group. So maybe we can move on from that. The next question that TL had was, why use merchant credits and not just use Dash? That's a good question.
Well, yeah, that's a good question. The problem with Dash is that it's extremely volatile.
Right.
And the businesses are doing accounting and have all their cashiers set to a specific local currency. They need to pay taxes, and they are in business. They do not want to take any extra overhead with following fluctuations of Dash.
So to be clear, we're talking about
this
Dash as a gift card system, not Dash as a money, which, by the way, I'm saying as a good thing. Is that what we're talking about? We're talking about Dash as a gift card system, which would help meet the regression theorem, right? Because when people say, okay, all monies start out as something else, they start out as something that's useful for something else. So, you can't just show up on the scene and be like, yo, we're digital cash, bitches. That's all we do, cash. It's like, no, what was your purpose before cash? So you're saying that Dash's purpose prior to meeting any kind of cash function is as a merchant credit system. Is that right?
Yes, you can say so. And the value of Dash network here is that it allows people to transact, which is basically, this is one that's very important part of the mechanism for money. Like money has to be able to flow. You have to be able to exchange it, pay with it. The only Dash has great tech, perhaps the best for payments. It's it's secure. It's decentralized to a pretty good level, in my opinion, at least compared with other projects out there. It's a really cool thing, Dash network. We just maybe do not need to impose right away on people to accept that Dash units are their money, because they are not. They are pure speculation at the moment. But once it will be used, the useful part of Dash technology, which is there right now, which Quantum Explorer, and all his team are developing and know how cool tech it is. So you just put it in the usage for day-to-day purchases of people. Whether it will work or not, that's a different question. But it's a way to try, in my opinion. And if the usability of the system is good, the concept is kind of solid, at least as far as we have covered it here, and we can go into details. But it's quite natural flow, I would say. And if it works, if we will convince enough merchants and enough customers will start using it, then of course there is a real world connection between Dash network, real world usage for Dash network, and also Dash unit, which is Dash or DAFs.
Yes.
And more people will use it. Then basically the DAFs and the Dash units, they become shares of Dash network. More people will use it. More people will want to keep Dash or need Dash.
Yes.
And Dash would be like a share or something like share for Dash network. And more people will use it, more people will value it, bigger value it will have. And also, I guess, like if we would go really, parabolic, then the fluctuation of Dash would get lower, I guess, because the speculation would be harder to carry out.
So I want to give you some first feedback. So as I was listening to you describe this system, I started to think, okay, so this sounds like, okay, another one of those where someone comes up with hey, I've envisioned a great application for our network. And I was reminded of all of the pitches we heard about how perfect blockchains were for gamers, right, in the past, because gamers have all these in-game tokens and they have, all these things that they're always exchanging within their game. And blockchain would be so perfect to make their games finally auditable and to make their in-game assets finally transferable from like one game provider to another. And we're going to rock these gamers' worlds. And obviously that has not happened, did not happen. And so at first I was thinking, oh, shoot, is this just another one of those where we imagine we have the perfect use case and it just turns out that we're completely wrong? But hello, gift cards for crypto is already a thriving industry and has been for years.
And loyalty points are
claims
already.
That they're the largest crypto-based e-commerce retailer in the world. So you're not talking about something that's like pie in the sky. You're talking about something that is in some way already like proven to be a huge application that works today.
Look, I think it's a common sense application, this one. I don't know about whether it will be failure or not. We are discussing it here as a discussion on a concept. I just feel it could work conceptually. It makes sense to me. I am willing to try to make it, and we will see how the community reacts to it. It would be really nice if people criticize it and say why it not work. I mean, exactly for what reasons it should not work or cannot work. But yeah, I am analytical person with a PhD, so in computer science. So I don't really know how this will turn out in reality, in a business. You will definitely need some business development for this. You need, the first step of the procedure is you need to convince the merchants. That's a lot of work, I think. But
can we talk about
on the technical side of the story, I think it's doable and it should work. Dash network has proven.
Side, we're going to do it. I don't think there's any question about, like, why would we not do this? We've been building Dash platform for almost a decade, it seems like, probably closer to 7 or 8 years. This is exactly what I know that you said that we don't necessarily need Dash platform for every part of this, but
maybe it's good. Maybe it's good, and maybe it's even better. Maybe we should do that. I think we should do that. Like the conceptually, yes.
So I'm just saying, if for no other reason, like we need to try Dash platform in the market, and this seems like the perfect application because we already know, like Amanda was saying, gift cards from a consumer standpoint is already proven in the market. We already know that there's a big market for people wanting to buy gift cards with
crypto. Yes.
With crypto. We also know that point systems and credit loyalty systems and gift cards are that's a market that's been around for decades. Just think about your airline loyalty point system. Like that's probably the most popular loyalty programs that there are. And they do those for a reason. Like the podcast that I was listening to, she was from the traditional point system loyalty system space. And she was talking about like why companies like to do these point systems. So I know that there's a good market for that. We're just trying to marry those two and say, you know, if you like peanut butter and you like jam, maybe you'll like a peanut butter and jam sandwich. And we've got all the fixins for it already. We've got the bread even with Dash platform. So let's do it. Let's make it.
Yeah.
And we'll just see where the market goes. So we'll blame Joel. We'll blame Joel at the the growth Dash growth if it doesn't work because
sure, exactly, because he will be the reason for the failure of the first point in the procedure to convince the merchant. Exactly.
And so that I wanted to.
That's how it works, Joel.
On the merchant side, so from my perspective, if I am somebody that I earn my income as crypto, and so I'm always looking for ways to spend crypto, and I have some local merchants that I like, and I approach them and I say, hey, I would like to give you my loyalty. I would like to spend more at your outfit. There's two routes that we can go. I can either set you up with something like an AnyPay merchant acceptance tool, then you can accept my Dash if and when I come to your store, and I'll come more often if you accept Dash. But then from their perspective, they also are going to most likely want to convert that Dash to dollars immediately. And so they would have to then install something like because AnyPay, I don't think does that connection to their bank account directly. They're just a crypto acceptance tool. So they would have to have an additional tool to convert that crypto that they've accepted to US dollars, and then maybe even another additional tool to convert those dollars into their bank account. Or they can use something like this where they're issuing, let's say at the most simple level, they're issuing these gift cards for dollars even, or whatever.
No, they are basically using Dash Network for what is it meant to be used for payments. We just allow them to do the payments in whatever currency,
right,
or type of money they want. If they want to issue the currency and call that apples, it can be in apples. It does not really has to be national currency, and nobody is preventing them from using Dash directly. And of course, they will always need Dash. That's for sure. So you will not convince them of using Dash. You will convince them of using their own self-issued, self-branded gift cards or merchant money. But then when you will convince them, well, they will need Dash, or at least a little bit of it. But that will already gets them on our side, on the Dash side, because the conversion between any of these merchant credits and Dash is like the most straightforward one. So if as soon as we have 2 or 3 merchants anywhere around the globe accepting this one or running this one, of course we are going to make an exchange or something on evolution. That's a great application and great further development of this concept, where people can exchange these gift cards with each other and buying them for Dash or something else.
Okay, so walk me through this potential nightmare scenario. So let's say we at the Incubator write the code that makes this program possible, and we have this software done. But people who are either better funded than we are, or smarter than we are, or have smarter friends than we do, could market it much better than we do, and they take it and run with it. Can this be done on any other network other than Dash? Can they plug and play it into their systems, or does this require Dash platform specifically, and so we better get it right?
Conceptually, you can do this on any decent layer. Well, you will probably need at least some contracts, like right now platform is not going to have smart contracts right away. It will have these documents, but basically you can do it on any Ethereum like network, I think.
Well, I don't think you even need the Ethereum. You don't even need a smart contract for this, in my opinion.
Because I think
you need code running somewhere.
Yes, but then you won't have it decentralized. I mean, you can do it centralized, of course. I mean, you don't need. there are gift cards out there, but if you want to have this permissionless and you want to have it sort of on a decentralized network, I think you will need to have some contracts. You need to store data. You need to store the thing about the currency that in which it is issued. You want to name it. You want to have some logo about it, and you will also need to keep something about your issuing private keys and public keys or addresses. You will need to keep this in the business logic of the service. So you need some contracts. I don't think you can do it on Bitcoin, or actually you can program Bitcoin as well with some restrictions. Like you can have some conditions there. Anyway, I haven't dived too deep into this, but I am convinced that Dash is the best network for payments. So maybe it can be done on other networks. I'm sure it is, but Dash is the best for payments.
Yeah, and I think because as part of the research in the marketing side, it might be helpful to see if there are any self-service loyalty program applications out there. Like if I'm a merchant and I want a gift card system, is there some open source software that I can just plug?
In general, you will always end up running into the same issues as with the general cryptocurrency for payments. For this, you will need to be able to process a lot of transactions. You want to have them settled as soon as possible. It has to be fast. So you have these are practical constraints or requirements on the technology just to be able to run it. So conceptually, you can put it on Dogecoin if you want, I guess, but I think practically it will fail. And I hope, or I think that Dash could make this practically usable. On that note, I mean, the usability is very important. I think here, before you go and try to convince any merchant, you make sure that the app you're asking them to install is easy to use, like that they install it, and perhaps like the initial setup of the private key is somehow even automatic, and only as soon as try to issue it, they will force you to store it in a safe place and all that. But I mean, that's the biz dev part of it. It is important already in the product before you go on the streets.
Yeah, I think that it's critical to get the UX very, very good, the user experience very, very good for both the merchant and the customer to use this. And if you can nail that, then I see a big market for it.
It should be very simple. But hey, it's again, there's a good, I think, history, also a reality. Joel says that the mobile wallet for Dash is, like, from practical usage point of view, the best one he knows. So we could learn from them. We could have a lot of input from Joel or other people who are using cryptocurrency. You can ask, people around us whether they would use it, because then, you basically, people won't realize that they are using cryptocurrency with this. For them, it's another app they install on their mobile phone, and they use it, at their hot dog stand down the street, or in their restaurant around the corner, and nobody is exposed directly to Dash, but they will figure it out later on that it actually runs on Dash network, that the fees for these transactions are covered in Dash units, and that Dash units worth something.
Well,
Indeed.
I like
Well,
it.
is there anything that we missed that you wanted to say about this particular project? I would say if anybody is interested in helping build this, please contact us. And what else did we miss, Jan?
Well, I just want to wish everyone having a happy new year, and good luck for Dash Network for the near and long future. That's what I would add to this at this moment. And I'm looking forward to try my best, analyze and make this project, and we will see how it resonates with the community, and perhaps bring it to the real world, to real usage. That would be fantastic.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, Santa Claus. We look forward to giving updates about this effort in the future. Thanks for joining us today, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Maybe I should have the outro ready. And here we go.